so let's get started on Friday. As you can see, this is what Thursday looks like. It was kind of a crazy, weird week. Like I said earlier, so Thursday just didn't even get filled out. And you know, that happens. So if you ever feel guilty about not filling out a day, just don't feel guilty. I don't fill out days sometimes too, and my job is to literally plan things. So you are not alone. And you know what? Yep. You just move on. And that's kind of one of the things I love about Amplify Planner. Like, obviously it is easy to still feel a little guilty when you skip a day. But I just kind of got in the mindset of like, it's fine. Like, there are bigger things to worry about than a blank spread in your planner. Like, clearly you were doing something. Good for you. Or maybe you're doing nothing. Good for you too. Like, just don't sweat the small stuff and just move on to the next day, and guess what? It's gonna be just fine. So that's my motto for that. We're gonna forget about Thursday, and we're just gonna start fresh again on Friday. And that's why I love a daily planner, because even if you don't, you know, like, that's the hard part with a weekly planner. Sometimes you fill out this whole week and you just fill out like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the rest of the week's empty, and you're like, well, that's great. It's nice and easy. With a daily planner, you can literally just turn the page and forget about it. So that tends to help too. So let's go ahead and we'll place down our stickers for today. I'm thinking for next week of doing a May theme. So the monthly kit I picked for May is the Hello Spring, and has these really pretty florals and these stripes. And I'm getting a little bored with the color palette I picked at the beginning of April with all the different colors, which I love these colors, but sometimes I just feel like mixing it up. So I'm thinking for next week doing a Hello Spring themed week. And so that'll be fun. If you're ever feeling in a planner rut, just mix it up. Okay, found my pen, found my marker that matches. I am loving this Zebra Sarasa, I think that's how you say it, dry. It's kind of big in the planner community right now. I'm always late to trends. I just don't pay attention. But I know this is a really popular one, but I'm really picky about pens. I like a really fine tip pen, so this is an 04. I definitely prefer a 0.38, which what difference is it? It is actually, what if you're used to a 0.38 and going to a 4, there is a difference. You'll be able to tell, but I still like it. It's fine. It's not a 5, so we're good, and it's definitely not a 0.7. That would be insanity. And so I'm glad that they made one in a 0.3 or a 0.4, because a lot of fun pens, the smallest they go is a 0.5, and that's just too big for me. I feel like once you get used to having a fine tip pen, you can't go back. So if you're at a 0.5 and you're like, well, maybe I'll go finer, don't go finer, because all the fun pens you're not going to be able to use, because you're going to turn into one of those people, and that's me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes talking and drawing boxes is hard. Ian always gets on me. He's like, okay, if you're gonna talk, do something with your hands. And I'm like, okay, but it's hard. It's hard to talk and count and write. But practice makes perfect. Okay, so for today's schedule, I put in the boxes for my morning routine. We need to go pick up boxes. So we're probably gonna leave here shortly. Let's see. So it's like 10, so we'll probably leave here at like 11. We'll probably do a weird afternoon lunch thing, because we definitely want to miss the Denver traffic, because it's a monster now. So we need to run and pick up boxes, and then we also need to go pick up some more planners, because they had some planners that were messed up. and they had to fix them, so we need to go pick up the ones that they fixed, which is one of the really awesome parts about having your planner made in the same city that you live in, is you can just go drop off your messed up planners and they'll fix them for you, and then you can go pick up the fixed planners instead of just having to either deal with having a bunch of messed up planners, not that there's a bunch, but, or like, you know, I don't know. It's so nice to be able to support another small business. I mean, we support 2 other small businesses, our print house that prints the guts for the planner, and then there's a separate company that does all the bindings, so puts all the coils on and does the tabs and everything. They're another company, and so it's just nice to be able to support 2 other businesses here in Denver while also having your own business. It's a community. So speaking of planner trends, because I can talk about this while I draw some lines. So like I said, I just dropped onto the dry pens, which why it's dry is it means that you can like highlight over it, like the ink dries really quickly. So you can highlight over it like right after and it won't smudge, or like if you're a left-handed person, you can write with it without it smudging and things like that. And so it's been kind of like a big deal. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are like all about this pen, which I love the zebra pens anyways, so why would I not love this? And they're coming in fun colors now too, because before they had one and it was just like plain and boring, and now they're like, you can get a pink one, you can get a chartreuse one, all this stuff, so that's fun. But what planner trends are you on right now? Like, what's something that you're like, oh my gosh, everyone's using this, I love it, freak out, I'm gonna buy them all? I wanna know, because sometimes I feel like I'm really behind and I just kind of like stay in my own little bubble and I don't know what the cool kids are doing. Let me know. Are you really into blackout planners? I think those are kind of weird. I don't know, they seem like a lot of work. And again, to each their own, they do look cool. Like, I definitely love seeing blackout planner spreads, but would I ever do it? No. So let me know in the comments what your planner trend love obsession is right now. Okay, so I drew this little bottom section for my meal planner steps and then my Apple Watch. I'm gonna go ahead and fill out my hourly timeline, and then we'll move on to the tasks and then the last column. So I kind of just work from left to right. And for the weather, so I use this top gray Freedom Box for my weather, and I love the Wonderground app. It's my favorite. I used it back in my Jamba Juice days because it would tell you what the weather was yesterday, so the day before. And Jamba, being a smoothie shop, is especially a smoothie shop here in Colorado where we get all the weather. Not like California where it stays pretty consistent most of the time. Was a very weather-oriented business. If you had an afternoon rain shower or obviously a snowstorm or something like that, you had a really slow day. And so we always kept track of what the weather was, so we could track our sales accurately. Okay, so I do have some things from the last couple of days that I need to finish up. One thing is I need to order the new passion planners, so I can do tab pairing videos. And I did order them, but then I used the wrong credit card, so I had to cancel it and place a new order. So I need to do that today because their sale actually ends today. So I need to get on that. And then I do have some social media stuff to do for Amplify, so we need to do emails. And then I'm gonna kind of separate my to-do list into 2 things. So I'm gonna have a Chelsea Brown Designs little list and then an Amplify list. Where's my ruler? So that way I can kind of keep everything separated. So I like to divide out my list like that. It just kind of helps me keep things separated, especially when I'm working on one. Like, okay, if I start with Amplify Planner stuff in the morning, like, let's just get all the Amplify Planner stuff and then move to the Chelsea Brown Design stuff. That's kind of how my brain works. And then I also like to look at my weekly layout because that's where I kind of write things down where I'm like, oh, right, I need to like remember that. Because on Monday, you know, you go into Monday and you're like, yeah, we got this. It's going to be a great week. And you write down everything you need to do. And then by Friday, you're like, what was I doing with my life? Yeah, write it down. So pretty easy. We need to work on the 2022 pocket calendar. And I don't know if I'm giving away too much information, but it is what it is. Okay, so here is what today kind of looks like. I'm sure it'll get filled in more, but it's just a good general basis. Filled out my hourly timeline, picking up boxes. We're gonna go visit Cedar. Today's to-do list for the most part. Again, I need to order passion planners, the new releases. Let me know what you guys ordered. What are you excited? What did you think of the new launch? I was a little bit anticlimactic to me personally because it was just like there's some cool new things. Like obviously the marble hardcover is beautiful and the mint cover I'm super excited to see in person because I loved that teal one that they came out with. I don't think I have it up here. I mean, forever ago. I want to say it was like their first undated planner. I loved that color, so I'm really curious to see what it looks like in person and if it's similar to that color. I actually do think I have it. I can see it. This color, which is almost the same color as the background right here. I want to say it was called Paradise Blue. I want to say that what this. It's so hard. Like I've been with the Passion Planner community for so long that like all the names just like mush together at this point, especially because they'll come out with like the same color, like all the rose gold covers technically have different names and I'm just like, can we just call it one name? Like I get the cover design changes here and there, but I'm just like, I can't keep up with all these different name colors. So I'm curious to see if it's similar to this color. It looks lighter in the pictures, but I'm curious. So I'm definitely excited to see that, but I mean, otherwise, I don't know. I feel like always for the academic ones, like they kind of are really awesome, but like they're kind of also not, you know, they're all colors we have except for a couple new ones and new cover designs, which is cool and all, but I don't know. I wasn't like freaking out by any means. I am super excited to try the journals too. Let me know if you're on the same page as me. But the new logo kind of reminds me of a cult. Like we're joining a cult. Like the description of it's really beautiful and I like the idea around it, but it just kind of reminds me of a cult. I don't know. I know some people feel the exact same way as I do. I just saw that and I was like, huh. Just from a branding perspective, it's interesting because if you're not a Passion Planner user, you wouldn't know it's a Passion Planner journal. You know, like why not put a Passion Planner logo on it to continue branding your products? So I just thought that was a little strange to go that direction with the journals. I mean, I think the logo design is beautiful and I love the meaning behind it and why they designed it the way they designed it. I thought that was really inspiring, but it just kind of confused me a little bit. But I am super excited to try the journals because, I mean, we've been asking for journals for forever. So I'm excited about that. So I need to order those things. I have my Amplify Planner to-do list, which is a bunch of random stuff getting ready for our next launch, you know, for the Q4 planners and getting ready for 2022, which is just insanity to me. People are already asking for 2022 stuff and I'm just like, I'm still living in 2020. Like I'm still writing 2020 on things. Like when I have to go to write down the year, I'm like, is it 2021? What year is it? That's me. I know some people are like that too, but some people are planning for 2022 already and I just can't even wrap my head around that. Personal tasks, we got that written down. some daily habits. I wrote down some social media stuff for Chelsea Brown Designs, as well as Amplify Planner, and then some of the goals I want to try to accomplish today, or just to keep in mind for this weekend. I still need to do my May tending list for my power sheets. Again, when the month starts on the weekend, I'm not there. I can't do it. And then I'm also working on this success journal thing, so I will do that with my May tending list. I do want to film that, so I'll explain all of that in that video. But let's go ahead and like get this day started. I'm gonna pack you guys up. We're gonna jump in the car and we are going to go pick up the rest of the planners and the boxes. So yeah, let's go do that really quick so then we can get back home and get back to work.